Greetings, friends. Well, I am back here at our homestead, and we just had an absolute blast at Polyface farm. We were only there like 2 days once you add it up. We were there a half day, a full day, and then another half day. But the time we were there, it almost felt like a week with everything that was jam-packed in there. It was just an amazing visit. Joel is an amazing, loving, awesome person, and even just being around him, we recorded a number of videos there. He works really hard, the whole team there does, but just being there, I felt like I could just hit record and let it run the whole day, because he's just constantly pouring out love and passion and knowledge. It's so amazing. So that is a place we definitely want to go back to, and we still have a couple more videos coming up from our time there. We just didn't want to overload you guys with videos from Polyface, but amazing time. But we've had 2 trips here recently, and when we leave the homestead, it can be challenging coming back, because there's a lot of work that has to be done. It's just our family, for the most part, 99% of running and operating this homestead. So we thank those who were looking out for our animals. Jen for looking at our goat while we were gone. Looking around, looks like the chickens are healthy and happy and grazing around here and working on clearing this area up for me. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in this area, so keep it up, ladies, and the one gentleman we have over there. We actually need another rooster. He's the only one we have left. And speaking of new birds, we do have some meat ducks that are coming, as well as some more Cornish crosses. So looking forward to that, and a couple layers. Probably should have put in an order for a rooster now that I think about it. Hey, Slim. Meow. Meow. Slim's putting on a lot of weight. He's much bigger now than when he first arrived here. I guess Slim's not happy that we left. Meow, meow. Meow, come on. There we go. There we are. I'm really not a cat person, but Slim's all right. Actually, there was one cat. We've raised a number of cats over the years. There was one cat that I really did have a fondling to. He's no longer around, but his name was Snarf. It's a really neat cat. Actually named him after Thundercats cartoon, for those of you who are old enough to remember that. Some of our summer lettuce growing right here. So it's looking all right. Just experiment with this variety of lettuce. And one of the tricks to growing lettuce in the summertime is this stuff right here. Makes a world of difference. This combined with irrigation, which both are a must. So I start my lettuce indoors most of the time, but including in the summer as well. Then we'll transplant them into our landscape fabric, and then we'll put hoops down, cover it with the shade cloth here, 50% shade cloth, and then we'll irrigate it really well, and then we'll leave the shade cloth on for like a week, about 7 days, and we take it off, and it makes a world of difference. Well, what I'm going to be working on right now is these beds right here really need some work. We need to get some things growing in them. So I gotta get started. This right here is one of my favorite tools. Some people call it a scuffle hoe. I call it a stirrup hoe, whatever you want to call it. But you can get one of these at your local hardware store. I got this one from Lowe's, I believe, but it's really good. Low cost tool for really helping to kind of stir up and knock some of the weeds loose, so you can easily just remove them from your bed. I will say it's a little easier to do this when the ground's a little drier, but we've had a lot of rain and we haven't had a lot of dry days. So we're just doing what we can right now, but still doing a good job. I mentioned that you can get one of these at Lowe's or one of your big local hardware stores. You can also get one from our Amazon link in the show notes below. But even more important than that, guys, I encourage you to purchase from the local businesses in your area. The really local hardware stores. Small businesses need our help more now than ever. So when you're getting some of your tools, go to them first, because those guys need it. They're supporting families, and their businesses, their families depend on their businesses surviving. All right, so next I'm gonna bring in the flame weeder, the Kelvin cultivator. It's not a must, but since some of the weeds were growing up, some of them actually had sprouted a seed. I just want to go through and burn up any seeds that are remaining. If I wasn't in a hurry to turn this bed over quickly, I would have probably used the flame weeder to begin with. And you can actually do that. You can use a flame weeder to quickly turn over bed. But it's best if the weeds are smaller and younger. It works easier that way. Oh, and look who's out here this morning. The birthday girl. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Did you forget?
No, I knew it.
Did you think I forgot?
No, I hadn't even seen you today.
So make sure you wish Lacie a happy birthday in the show notes below. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So what are we doing?
I need you to help me carry water to the goats, if you will, please.
Oh, so I'm called over here to do something. But since your birthday, I'll help you out.
Oh,
but no, I'll help you out anyway.
Sometimes.
I'm just kidding.
He says, why don't you ask me to help you? So now the one time that I do
I just kid. Everybody knows how I kid.
I know. I'm just giving him a hard time.
But you're tough too. Why is it that you need my help today? I pushed her too much at Polyface.
No, it wasn't even him doing it, because he just asked me to pick up buckets and stuff, which was fine. But I wanted to see how heavy the chicken tractors are. And so I was like, hey Eli, can I try and move one? And so I was trying to move one, and that sucker, I was going uphill and the grass was really tall, and I was refusing to let that thing beat me. And I moved it the whole way by myself, but to the detriment of myself.
You sure did. I was watching you. I was like, I want to help, but I'm just not gonna stir everything up and let you do it. but I did it. But you did it.
I did it.
But you did it. All right, I'll help you out.
Drama and trying to be tough all the daytime.
All right, madame, you may ride on the chariot of Sir John Deere.
I'm gonna walk.
Okay.
I'll let you ride over there. The bouncing around, let's just say my lower back hurts right now, and I think my SI joint is out of place. So walking is better for me than bouncing in the tractor.
She has refused the chariot of Sir John Deere.
Sorry, Sir John Deere.
Let's saddle up our chariot. Are you ready?
They're hungry. They didn't get their extra feed while we were gone. So, but look at this. Look how much water is left in that bucket. It was absolutely full when we left on Sunday. And now Wednesday morning, it's still really full. And I found the more that they eat of like the trees and the fresh grass, the less water that they drink. I still do give them hay, but if you give them hay all the time, all they do is eat the hay and drink a lot of water. So I've cut back on the hay some and then let them actually forage more, because we opened up this whole other side for them. And the amount of water that they drink goes down drastically. Are you all done, Helga? Yes? You all done, Olga? Okay. Oh, they look at you some branches. Okay, let me have these. Okay, you gonna help me some more?
All right, riding on over to the next station.
Well, first we have to go back over here and get some hay for Basil. Hazel probably still has some.
So you need to put the hay on here.
Yeah, so we'll just put the lid on that bucket and put the hay in there.
Here we go, off away in our chariot.
Hold on.
Ready to ride?
That's a weird sounding chariot.
Meh. Meh. Why, hello there. So glad you didn't escape while we were gone. She did make it a little bit challenging for us leaving.
Yeah.
She just kept getting out right before we left. It's like she knew we were leaving or something. So, I don't know. Maybe it was some kind of goat intuition.
Right. Thanks for setting it up for me.
She is ready. You're ready.
Ready? I need a better system, but this works for now.
Over the years, we've been able to develop some systems where we're able to step away from the homestead, at least for a couple days, because that's really, really beneficial to be able to do that. And then this year we go and add goats, which kind of
There's a wrench in
it
things.
sure did. So we had to learn and adjust. So while we were away, a family friend, as I mentioned earlier, came by Jen and checked on the goats and milked Hazel here. So that's really nice that we were able to do that.
So if you're gonna get goats to milk, make sure you have a friend that can milk goats also, so when you leave town, you have someone to milk your goats.
There you go. And a lot of homesteaders will use like a farm sitter or somebody just to come and check on their animals. Sometimes they'll stay overnight or whatever, and then sometimes they'll just drop by, do a few chores like gathering eggs and things like that. But it can be challenging leaving the homestead, but it can be really, really beneficial, or I shouldn't say it can be. It is really beneficial to leave the homestead from time to time. Everyone needs a break from what they do. Even as if you're super extremely passionate about it, you still need a break from time to time to be inspired again, just to rest and let your mind and body recover for a little bit. It is so beneficial and helps with things like burnout. And taking the trip that we took to Polyface was definitely inspirational. It wasn't a restful trip, I would say. I wouldn't call it restful at all because it was super busy there. But
we were there from sun up to sundown on Monday, and then back again before sun up on Tuesday. So it was so good though. It was really, really good.
I was just inspired to see Joel in his 60s, just a full day of work. It was like work, farm stuff, going. Podcast for like when most people are taking lunch break, and then he's back farm stuff all day long for, like Lacie said, sun up to sundown.
And also he writes a blog every single day. So he gets up, does his farm chores, writes the blog, eats breakfast, then does more. I mean, it's just going. Yeah, he's a very busy man.
Yeah, that was a really neat day that we were able to spend with Joel and his family and his team there. Is really, really neat. So definitely a trip we want to make again and plan to make again, because it's just a really inspiring place to be. So if you can, if you're a homesteader, or even if you're not, try to make it an effort to get away from your homestead whenever you can, because it will really benefit you in so many different ways. And if you can, try to make it a trip, or maybe you have a time where you get away where it's like vacation, it's just focus on rest, which is something we need to work on. We need some time of just a rest. A lot of people think when we take trips like that away from it that it's a vacation. Really not. We consider it more of like a almost like a continuing education type workshops that we're going to, and whether it be the conferences or going to places like Polyface Farm, because they really help us to learn, to continue to learn, because we should all strive to be continual learners, but it also is a place to get inspiration and motivation from. Well, is there anything else that I may do for you?
Well, the water was the biggest thing. That's the heaviest stuff, so thank you very much.
Alrighty. Well, actually, I'll need to give them water, and then we'll head out on our chariot of Sir John Deere. This is a great tool. Little bit more of an investment, well, a lot more investment than the stirrup hoe, but definitely can be worth your while adding this to your homestead or your farm. You can use it in your garden beds like this. You can even use it in driveways and walkways where you don't want grass to grow. But right now I'm just going over, trying to scorch any weed seeds that may be there, as well as any that germinated that I missed. Especially hopefully burning up any Bermuda grass that may be there as well. So I finish up using the flame weeder. After that, added organic fertilizer to the bed. Next, I shoveled compost out of the back of my truck into buckets, loaded the buckets up into the gorilla cart, and transported them over here with the lawn tractor. And then, after spreading out the compost, took my bow rake and smoothed out the compost, just because I like the bed to be nice and smooth before I move on to the next step. And I really like to use the top or the back side of the bow rake. It really helps smooth it out even more evenly. And then I use my wheel hoe to make my furrows here for our roads that we're making, and we're going to be planting arugula here. And I had radishes in here last time, and I like to do some crop rotation whenever I can, which is most of the time. But right here with our arugula seed, this is arugula seed that we have saved in the past. Actually, these are some from this year. They look nice and fresh. And I believe these are arugula seeds here that we did last year. But some fit farmer guy didn't label it properly. I don't know what his problem is. So we're going to just test these at the end of the row just to make sure. You can actually taste the seed to see if it has somewhat of a similar flavor to the plant. Man, it has like an earthy taste, but at the end, it has that peppery flavor like arugula has. So, not 100% sure, so that's why we're going to test these at the end of the bed. But I really like to sow arugula seed just generously, because I'm not really concerned with arugula about them being close together, because the leaves, we harvest them small anyway, so it's usually not a problem. It's like almost like growing microgreens in the garden, but just a little bit bigger. Oh, what do we have here? Well, when we arrived back home later yesterday, we noticed a number of packages, but it was just too late. So we were like, we'll look at them and get to them later. But a number of you guys have been such a blessing from time to time sending us stuff, and man, sometimes we're just blown away by the different things that you guys send, and we really appreciate it. And how appropriate that you guys sent Lacie some stuff right on her birthday. What you got over there?
Well, I opened it up. I added some stuff to our wish list because I'm really trying to consolidate and downsize and just be better organized. And so I put on there some stainless steel plates. They just sit together really well, take up less space. So I got stainless steel plates, yay! And a set of stainless steel cups too. So we normally use like cannon jars, but these, if they fall, they're not gonna break. I don't have to worry about picking up glass. So we got some of these. And just some other little stuff like air locks so I can do more fermenting. It's another thing. And another thing with downsizing and clothes and clutter, I put some shirts on there for the kids so they can almost have like a uniform, like a farm uniform. They can wear the farm clothes outside and all, and they each have different colors, so I don't have to worry about getting them mixed up, and I know whose is who. So we got some shirts for Selah, and then some for Josiah, and then some for Micah. So we're trying to work it down to limiting our wardrobe so we can spend less time doing the tedious stuff of folding clothes and dividing them out and things like that.
And sometimes things get sent anonymous, like this shelf here, which we really appreciate and will help with some of the storage that we're doing with just storing more food. But who was it that sent these items to you?
Oh, Miss Karen, and we thank you so much for doing that. You know, we really appreciate whenever guys like you send us stuff, and just thank you so much.
And it was also nice that we got our order from Murray McMurray. So let's just open it up and see what we have here. Got my knife here from NT Knives, our friend Patrick. So in here should be a number of the items that we need for our next chicken processing.
Oh, we have bags?
So we have our freezer bags here.
Yep.
We have, let's see here.
Oh, wow.
Cones.
Yeah, there's two of them.
So we have a pretty normal size, the larger one here, and then one that's just a little bit smaller on the inside. So, and I believe we have our, let's see here, I'm not sure, can't remember what this item is. We'll just have to open that one up and see. We even have the guide here, the basic butchering of livestock and game. So that'd be neat to read. So it's got a bunch of different animals showing you how to process them. So that'd be neat. As well as we got some, looks like we got our knives and our scissors here, which will really come in handy. I felt that when we processed the chickens here last time, I felt it went really well. However, we had to borrow a lot of the items, so trying to acquire and have them ourselves, so that way we can be more self-reliant and be able to do a lot of these things ourselves. So we got our scissors and knives here.
These are more bags.
And those are more bags.
Yeah, they're smaller.
So guys, if you are planning to do any processing yourself, make sure you can check out the link below, but you can get a number of the processing products and tools that you need from Murray McMurray Hatchery, and we'll leave a link in the show notes right below. Alrighty, still have a number of things to do outside, but the humidity is going up like crazy. It's a lot higher here than it was when we were at Polyface. But it's also time to eat. I don't eat breakfast for the past few months. I've been doing that. I think actually probably since about February I've been doing intermittent fasting, and it has been really beneficial to me. It's a little challenging like that first couple days to do it, but I've noticed that my energy level is so much more balanced and maintained throughout the day. It feels like the hormones and things like that and your blood sugar are stabilized a lot more, and even your hunger is balanced out a lot more. So there are a number of benefits to intermittent fasting. But it's time to eat. We're gonna make some eggs, and while we're spending time with Joel, he actually made what he calls, he actually learned it from a chef, 60-second omelet. So I'm gonna try to make that, and it was really good. He made it with cheese, and it was really neat to be eating breakfast with Joel South, and that was pretty cool. And also while we were there, Teresa, his wife, gave us some of these tomatoes here. And these are humongous. So Lacie wanted to save some of the seed, and Teresa kindly gave her these 2 tomatoes.
Well, and one reason I wanted some was because she told me that these were tomatoes that her grandmother grew, and that so every year she plants some tomato plants just so she can continue to grow the same tomatoes that her grandmother grew. So right before we left, I was like, Teresa, can I have some seeds for those tomatoes so I can grow them? And she so kindly went out to her garden and picked me some tomatoes so I can have some seeds.
I so want to take a bite out of it. Alrighty, now that we've added our eggs, next we're going to add water, which Joel says is the key to the 60-second omelet. A lot of people will add milk, and that just slows the cooking process down, but trust me, the water, having the water, it's still really good. So we're gonna add our water, then whisk it up, then add it to our pan that we're already preheating right here. Next, we're gonna add some cheese to go inside our omelet. All right, so our pan's ready, has oil in it. Eggs ready. Let's bring them over here. And we're gonna set our timer. See if we can do it in 60 seconds. I'm just gonna use my stopwatch here, just see how long it takes. So set this over here. And ready? Go. All right, put my egg in. All right. Like that. Let it go, let it go. I can see it getting a little darker yellow here on the side. Yep, looking good, making progress. Put some of our cheese in here. Close. Okay, start flipping it over. Lift it over the side. Okay. Break it up a little bit. Oh. I'm gonna put a little bit too much egg in. This over. There. I made mine a little big. Almost there. Alright, we got our plate ready. Coming apart. Man. It's on there. So let's just see how long it took. Almost 3 minutes. Not quite a minute, not quite a 60-second omelet here. So I got some more work to do, figure it out. I think maybe I didn't have my pan hot enough, and maybe maybe I had too many eggs in there, I'm not sure. He did 3 in his, and I was 3 as well. I had 2 chicken eggs and a duck egg from the farm. I'll just have to keep working on it. Keep seeing if I can hit that goal of 60 seconds. But I'm gonna enjoy these eggs, as well as I'm going to enjoy some pate from Polyface Farm as well. And it has a mixture of chicken liver, butter, pastured cream, onion, thyme, water, garlic, pepper, some other good herbs as well. So I'm gonna enjoy that. It's gonna be a nice, really good, fat-filled breakfast, brunch, lunch, whatever you want to call my first meal of the day. And a lot of people have this misconception that fat makes you fat, and that is totally wrong. For years that lie has gone around. Fat is so beneficial. We need it for our brain health and so many other things. Fat is good. It's not fat that makes you fat. It's processed food, high carbohydrates. Those are the things that are going to make things stick to you. So I'm going to enjoy this. Oh, and I almost forgot, raw goat milk. Some more good fat. And we're going to enjoy them here in a stainless steel cup. that we got from Karen, as well as this plate that we got from Karen as well. Thank you, Karen. But one more thing that I do want to mention, that it is really important to get away for you, but also getting away, whether it be conferences, visiting other farms, farmers, things like that, and developing friendships around the country, around the world, around your state, various places. It's really beneficial to make those connections as well. So that's another reason that you may want to consider taking some time away from your home, your homestead, your farm, wherever you are, because you never know, you may have to travel, you may have to move to another area. And how nice would it be if you do have to move, that you already have an established community of friends or people that you know to move to into that new area. Just something to think about. Well, that's it for today. We'll see you next time.